California college professor placed on leave after scolding student who said police are heroes. So again, this is about a college professor's free speech. Everyone sat there and defended Gina Carano, right? Everyone sat there and defended Gina Carano. It's very, very interesting when certain people use their free speech to speak about certain subjects, about scolding a student. I mean, and granted, maybe if you're a college professor, you shouldn't be scolding a student, but it is your classroom. To a certain extent, they do have control of it. But at the same time, I do get why she should be disciplined, but to be placed on leave for that seems a little extreme, especially given that everyone's so interested in cancel culture for when it comes to people that in which they don't agree with. So Cypress, California. It seems that academia's unbridled wokeism has limits after all, at least in this case where the offensive professor didn't have tenure. A left-wing California college professor who defended cancel culture and repeatedly talked down to a student who called police heroes has herself been canceled after video of the virtual class went viral, Fox News reported. So basically, they are celebrating this person being placed on leave and potentially losing their job because they said some things that they don't agree with. Now, the whole point of them being against cancel culture is for them to not be against people being canceled. If that's not the goal, if that's not the end goal, then I'm very curious as to what the goal is. If the goal isn't less people cancel for opinions, then what exactly do you stand for? And do you just stand for people not being canceled when they agree with you? The unidentified first-year adjunct professor at Cypress College in Cypress, California, claimed she would be in more danger if she called 911 during an armed home invasion and police responded. Given how there are some cops who toss flashbang grenades into babies' cribs, about how cops shoot people in their own homes to get 10 years, a hug in the Bible, really, you can't really argue that. Where's the fucking lie? To be quite honest with you, I've had several violent encounters, especially given some of the things that I've looked into personally when it comes to community safety in multiple states. And I gotta say, there's not been one time where I've been tempted to call the police except to document things. But it's never to get them to solve a problem, because police are useless. They never solve problems. They always come after the fact. And even when they show up, there are times where the person who called the police ends up being shot. There's some recent events that have happened that demonstrate that. I got a 155-pound pit bull. They would shoot my dog. I know they would. So I don't want cops anywhere near me. And I've made that clear to local cops here. I don't want you anywhere near me. With that being said, I really can't spot the freaking lie here. She's now on a leave of absence for the rest of the semester and will not be returning in the fall, the school said in a statement early Saturday morning. So again, the school, just like the so-called SJWs, the classroom SJWs, they caved to outside pressure because that was her classroom. She made a statement, and like I said, maybe she shouldn't be making that statement in a particular classroom. However, that was her opinion. That was her free speech. So why was she placed on leave for sharing an opinion? That seems like something that a letter of reprimand would easily cover versus being placed on leave and potentially losing your job. But again, the law officer at lawofficer.com and the political right are cheering this. They're cheering this because they are not against cancel culture. They're only against cancel culture when it's them that's being canceled. Cypress College takes great pride in fostering a learning environment for students where ideas and opinions are exchanged as a vital piece of the educational journey, the school said in a statement. Our community fully embraces this culture. Students often defend one another's rights to express themselves freely, even when opinions differ. Any efforts to suppress free and respectful expression on our campus will not be tolerated, except for when it comes to opinions about, the pigs, the road pirates, the slave patrol, the modern day slave patrol, even the ones who are people of color themselves. We realize what they were. There were house Negroes back in the slave days. So the slave patrol, the road pirates, when someone shares an opinion about your road pirates, suddenly free speech and expression are no longer tolerated. Again, look at how law officer, this is lawofficer.com. Law Officer, the bootlicking resources of the freaking internet, lawofficer.com. Look at how they describe her, right? The arrogant educator told 19-year-old student Braden Ellis. Braden, notice how the Karen types who wants to get other people goddamn fired, right? Notice the Karen types. It's always a soft-ass punk ass name, Braden Ellis. You think Braden Ellis is pulling in major goddamn tail? You think Braden Ellis is going to end up being a goddamn UFC fighter? You think Braden Ellis is gonna defend his woman if a loud noise, a loud and scary noise pops up at fucking nighttime? Which one do you think is more likely? If he's going around videotaping his damn professors who simply respond with a fucking opinion, a business major, mind you. Again, this is how you know he's gonna be a goddamn Karen. Change your major to human resources. That sounds like something a fucking Braden should goddamn be in. Braden Ellis. That police were created in the American South to track down runaway slaves, and suggested that policing is inherently a form of systemic racism, according to the video posted on Twitter, see below. They were based on runaway slaves, and it's very I want to see what she said was absolutely correct. They are absolutely based on capturing runaway slaves.
All right, so you brought up the police in your speech a few times.
Right.
So what is your main concern? Since, honestly, the whole reason police, it is systemic. The issue is systemic because the whole reason we have police departments in the first place, where did it stem from? What's our history? Going back to what Jeremy was talking about, what does it stem from?
They are based on systemic racism. They are just like gun control, just like so many of our constitutional amendments, just like so many laws. It's like the freaking war on terror, the war on drugs, freaking mass incarceration. A lot of it is based on Jim Crow. A lot of it is based on historical racism, and you can't escape that. You can't just get around that. You can't just gloss over that. It fucking is what it is. She's right so far. So I'm very curious, lawofficer.com, to see how exactly she's wrong. I want to know what the bootlickers think. I'm very, very curious. How is she wrong here?
It stems from people in the South wanting to capture runaway slaves.
Maybe they shouldn't be heroes. Maybe they don't belong on a kid's show.
So I disagree with what Jeremy said about it because
notice he did not disagree with what the professor said, right? Because he said no, Jeremy, that guy, he just says maybe they shouldn't be on kids shows. They're not heroes. He wanted to go for the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit. It's very, very easy. It's very easy to go after low-hanging fruit, right? But it's very, very difficult to refute what that professor just said. That's why he didn't begin with her, because she started off before the other guy did. So why not respond to her first, since she's the actual educator? Why respond to the other guy? Because that's low-hanging fruit. You can't respond to the fact that they were based on the goddamn slave patrol. In that alone, that creates a rift between them and certain communities. You can't fucking address that. And notice that it's never a black guy. You do get your freaking Joels and your Anthony Bryan Logans and your Brandon Tatums. You do get your types, all two of them. But notice how it's almost never a black guy. It's always a person who either looks like a freaking neckbeard, a Karen type, or has a striking resemblance between themselves and Kyle goddamn Rittenhouse. Notice how he even looks like Kyle Rittenhouse. And we look up this picture side by side, right? When you see the striking resemblance between this guy and Kyle Rittenhouse, and notice the language that he's using, it's all gonna make sense. Look at Kyle Rittenhouse and look at that guy, and tell me they don't look fucking alike. Look at Kyle Rittenhouse and look at that guy and tell me they don't look alike. Why is it that every time you get these white racists who say, oh, the police are not that bad, or Black Lives Matter hard, why is it that they always look alike, man? Because there's only about 5 or 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 different looks to him, man. You gotta admit, the striking resemblance that this man has to Kyle Rittenhouse, it's almost creepy, isn't it? They could be the same goddamn person. I think they are the same motherfucker. I think that he's actually attending this goddamn school. This motherfucker looks just like Kyle Rittenhouse, and to be quite honest with you, probably sounds just like him too. That is some uncanny shit, that you look and sound just like Kyle fucking Rittenhouse.
I think cops are heroes and they have to have a difficult job, but we have to have that
all of
fine
them?
life. Oh, I'd say a good majority of them. You have bad people in every business and every...
Here we go. The fuck explaining. We have bad people in every profession. Notice, Whenever someone says shit like, you shouldn't generalize cops, right? Here's a problem that I have with that. If I were to say that Comcast has shitty ass customer service, you wouldn't argue with that. If I were to say the DMV has shitty ass customer service, you wouldn't argue with that. If I were to say that lawyers are mostly liars who are full of shit who just want money, you wouldn't argue with that. If I were to say politicians are mostly liars who just want money, you wouldn't argue with that. You would allow me to generalize so many other fucking professions, but suddenly when it comes to police officers, it's hashtag not all. Don't you find that odd? I find it odd. I find that to be particularly fucking odd. Why is it that when it comes to police officers, I have to walk on eggshells, I have to not generalize, but when it comes to any other goddamn profession, I am free to generalize. And also, when you make statements like most cops are good or most people in this profession are good or bad inherently, that's also a generalization. I thought you said that we shouldn't be generalizing. That's what you said, right, bootlickers? Are we generalizing or are we not generalizing? Pick one, because you can't have both, baby.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot of police officers have committed atrocious crimes and have gotten away with it and have never been convicted of any of it. And I say this as a person who has family members who are police officers.
So let me get this straight. She has family members who are police officers and they still put her on leave because of a fucking opinion. Unbelievable.
I understand. And this is what I believe. This is my opinion. And this is, not popular to say, but I do support our police, and we have bad people, and the people that do bad things should be brought to justice. I agree with that. But I think that, say it again.
They haven't.
They haven't. Exactly.
I agree with you on that point of they should, right?
What's going to happen to the ones who haven't? What's your plan for that, Kyle Rittenhouse 2.0? Rittenhouse Jr.? What's your plan for that? She has police officers in her family. And this man who, again, if he had cops in his family, he would have come back with that. But he did not come back with that. So I'm gonna fucking assume. I'm just gonna fucking assume. The same way that he's assuming that most cops are good, I'm gonna fucking assume that you have no cops in your damn family, like she does. Because if she didn't, that's one of the first things that lawofficer.com and Fox News and all the right-wing trash bins would have fucking mentioned. You who have no cops in your family are arguing with somebody who has cops in their family. They only have so far a fucking opinion. They are a college professor. You are in their course, a 19-year-old person arguing with a grown fucking adult about their fucking opinion. You who has not done law enforcement a day in their goddamn life, arguing with somebody with cops in their damn family about shit that is fucking historically accurate, and they got counsel for it. You Cal Rittenhouse looking bitch.
So what is your bottom line point? You're saying police officers should be revered, viewed as heroes? They belong on TV shows with children?
I think they are heroes in a sense because they come to your need and they come and help you, and they have a problem just like every other business. But
no, they are not legally required to protect you. That's not the case. They are not legally required to fucking protect you. Yes, they come to help some people. But when you say things like they come to help you, do you agree that marijuana should be fucking legal? Do you think that people should be harassed or shot at or fucking arrested over a goddamn plant? If you don't, then for some people, they're not fucking helping you. Do you think that somebody should have their home taken because they didn't pay fucking property taxes even though they paid down the whole goddamn house? Do you think that every law that cops enforce that they know is goddamn wrong, do you think it's goddamn right? Kyle Rittenhouse Jr. or bootlickers or a Blue Lives Matter or a goddamn cop who's watching this, tell me, if a cop violates the Constitution, like for example, takes your gun just for no reason, right? And suppose there's a local law, a gun buyback and a gun take. Let's just say that Joe Biden loses his goddamn mind, says every gun in fucking America has got to be taken. No civilian ownership. We are revoking the Second Amendment. Are you telling me there are no cops who will fucking enforce that, right? Where are those cops? Are they good cops or bad cops? See, people like that can't answer these goddamn questions. Because if you're telling me that California has all these goddamn restrictive goddamn gun laws, then who's enforcing the restrictive goddamn gun laws? It ain't civilians, it's the police.
We should fix that. But I think they're heroes. Well,
I think that's the problem. It's looking at it as a business.
Boom. Looking at it as a freaking business. I think that's a part of the problem. Where is she lying so far? She has done nothing but spit hot fire. She is Dylon from fucking making the band with that freaking Dave Chappelle skit. She is spitting hot fire. There is nothing wrong with what she's saying. She got placed on leave for being anti-cop. So I don't want to hear anybody on the fucking political right talk about that they're canceling us. Shut the fuck up. They're canceling us. They're canceling us. Because again, you have no problem with people being canceled so long as it's your damn enemies. You have no problem with people being canceled so long as is this your goddamn political fucking enemies. And I got an issue with that. That's bullshit. Either you stand against it all time or shut the fuck up.